Hello, I'm Duncan Wood and we're at the Etihad Stadium, the home of Manchester City, for the very first VSI Quarterly News programme, and by chance it's the 10th anniversary of this dynamic company which provides executive education and so much more for the sporting leaders of tomorrow. Coming up on this programme, meet Andrew and Tony, the men at the top with a decade of delivering pioneering leadership skills in sports management.
I genuinely think we've made a real difference to the cultural face of the boardroom.
Catch up with one VSI alumni who took the very first course, forged a hugely successful career and is back to tutor the next generation.
To kind of find yourself in that type of spot is a little bit not uncomfortable, but just a bit of a shock.
Informing and entertaining, the VSI podcast that delves deep into the major sporting issues of the day. And we'll talk to the delegates who've jetted in from all over the world for the latest course. If you're going to run the top course for would-be chief executives or sporting directors, then you've got to base it here at the Etihad, and that's exactly what VSI has done. Manchester City, the champions of Europe, the champions of England at the moment, well, they have the trophies to prove it. And VSI is a huge success story in itself, producing CEOs and sporting directors by the dozen over the last 10 years, and they've also got a team to be proud of. Let's meet the chairman, Andrew McIntyre, and director, Tony Faulkner.
I genuinely think we've made a real difference to the cultural face of the boardroom. We've taken people who wouldn't traditionally have had the opportunity to study for a master's degree or an MBA or non-accredited executive education. We've given them learning that's allowed them to credibly apply for the big jobs and succeed in those big jobs.
It's really pleasing to see the calibre of individuals that have come on the programme. It's really pleasing to see the amount of people that are in senior leadership roles across football and other sports, not only in the UK, but in Europe, over in the UAE, and also in America. So that drives us each day, that gives us the passion to continue doing what we're doing.
The courses that we run have never been more important than now. So we initially satisfied a market demand by creating a generation of sporting directors across a range of sports. People refer repeatedly to football, and that's because of the wealth that's in football. But our delegates are successful in multiple sports. We've even got Beth Tweddle from an Olympic gymnast who studied successfully and came through the programme. But there's a recognition that we need somebody to manage the medium and long-term philosophy of an organisation.
We've got a global alumni now of just under 400 people, and that includes the Sporting Directors course and the Chief Executive programme. And that global alumni is active. So when you are a delegate on the programme, your networking includes that number of people on a global scale that are there to both support and challenge you. Because we believe if you get high support and high challenge, that's where you go.
Still to come, the VSI podcast with purpose from leaders in sport and the ambitious plans for the future. But now a taste of what you can expect if you sign up with VSI. Mal Brannigan enrolled on the very first VSI course, went on to run Sheffield United and Dundee United, and was latterly Chief Executive at Wigan Athletic.
It's been brilliant that you get invited back every now and then to talk to delegates, to kind of tell them what the VSI programme is all about, what their various courses can do for you. Sometimes you can come into an education course and you kind of say, I'm going to learn from the book, I'm going to listen to what people say, but then really don't take anything else away from that. Really important to create your own network and to build a good set of people around you.
And VSI encourages that?
Yeah, very much so. So that, an alumni, they bring people back in. They want everybody to learn from each other, which is a real positive.
VSI's outstanding reputation allows them to bring in sporting experts to pass on their experience to students, and this quarter, Professor Rob Wilson, recognised as one of the UK's leading finance academics in sport, is in the classroom.
We could pick up a newspaper today and find another story about another club that's potentially being sold, or a club that's not realising its cash flow position, is going into administration, has got problems with HMRC over unpaid tax. All of these things that happen on a day-to-day basis in the world of sport. And these delegates, the chief executive officers that are training, the sporting directors, all need to know about how to respond to those issues. As we strive for perfection on the sporting field, so too we need to strive for perfection in the boardroom and make sure that the books get balanced.
But who are the delegates and where do they come from?
I'm Derek White, I'm Head of Football Operations at Hibernian Football Club in the Scottish Premiership, and I've travelled down from Edinburgh for the course today.
Hi, I'm Rudy Gested, just retired from football in 2022, and I'm flown in from Nice.
I'm Luke Kraftjek, COO of Challenger Teamwear, and I've travelled to the course from the United States. It's great to be surrounded by pro athletes and people from all different types of backgrounds, so it's a great learning experience and something that I felt it was worth the travel for.
I can see my position sort of as a CEO within a football club. I've got the background on the pitch, off the pitch, financially. I would say I'm a bit of a fixer. I'm always fighting fires in the businesses that I look after, and I can definitely bring that to a club going forward.
So I always wanted to be in this role, but you need to have the knowledge to do it, obviously. So it gives me a bit of more skills. I've got business on the side, so it gives me more skills to how the administration is running and what kind of a role you're going to be asked to perform. So it's a very good understanding of the job and of the role of a CEO.
The reason for joining this programme was because I wanted to understand more about the sporting industry, to meet and connect with people who are in the industry, and to continue my learning.
I think there's some leading professionals that are educating us on this, whether it be Professor Rob Wilson, who's doing today's session on finance. There's loads of experts, so the knowledge that we can gain from that is not only the kind of theoretical knowledge, but the practical application of that in the real world as well, which is huge.
Welcome to episode 5 of the VSI Sporting Directors podcast.
To celebrate their 10th anniversary, Andrew and Tony have launched VSI's own podcast series in this last quarter to take you inside football, the clubs, the culture, and the many and varied careers. Kelly Skeggs, the Chief Operating Officer and Counsel for the leading football agency Omnisport, has been in the hot seat.
Most football fans will know what I'm talking about when I say everyone loves to play Football Manager. The Sporting Director podcast allows us to meet and hear from those individuals within clubs that actually get to play the real life Football Manager. It's fascinating, exciting and interesting, and following those careers through and how they got to where they are today and what they do day to day is an interesting insight into the game that we love so much.
You can listen to all the podcasts on Spotify or Apple, and watch out for the next one coming soon. The team at VSI never stands still and is always looking to innovate to provide a superior skill set for its students. So what is in the pipeline for 2024?
But what we're really aware of is the international market that's coming to us and saying, deliver at a time and space that's convenient to us, allow our learning to fit in with our working life. We recognise that our reach is now international and we want to capitalise on that.
We have to be current. We can't afford to sit on our laurels, and we can't afford to think we know what the industry actually requires. So our role as VSI is to continuously develop the relationships within the industry, work very closely with them, understand what senior leaders require so that they can be impactful in the role, and with that level of knowledge and understanding, then to be able to deliver what the industry requires from their leaders.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the new year. Bye for now.